What are your thoughts about the recent shooting at Canyon Springs High School?
I think that it was terrible. Anytime there's a shooting, period, with anybody, or somebody's getting killed, that's terrible. That's bad news. That's terrible news to hear. But when you're dealing with young melanated kids, with no role models and nothing to look forward to in life, but destitute a lot of the times, it's very sad. That's high school. That kid was 18 years old. And for you to be 18 years old and your life flashes before your eyes, you have to look at it like this. You haven't even fulfilled your legacy, or you haven't been all you can be, because your life doesn't begin till you're 18 years old, really. And now that child is gone, because he's still a child. He's 18 years old. He's still a young man. He's melanated. And then the shooter, the actual person who did the volatile act, his life is over. Now he'll be entering the judicial system. And we already know the history of what they do to melanated brothers and sisters in this so-called court of law. It's a very bad thing. It's not a good thing. We as melanated people, we got to start mentoring these young kids. This is not something that should be normal. The news, the media outlets, the powers that be, the Caucasians that are in power, they've made it where killing each other is normal. Where if you kill somebody, that's normal, and then in your neighborhood you're branded the hero because you shot and killed someone. But I've said this a million times. How many of these melanated people, are going to take the time to mentor these young brothers and sisters? The problem that I have, not just with the volatile act or with the crime, is social media, how it's glorified. These young kids, they kill someone and they put it on Facebook, or they put it on Twitter, or they put it on Instagram, and they think it's cool, and it's, you get your props and all that. But there comes a time where the elders of the community got to step up and be like, hey man, that's not the right thing to be doing. When you got somebody as young as that kid, I think his name was Dalvin Brown, 18 years old, gone. You know what I mean? Just like that, because of pride and ego. I've said it a million times. Melanated people have such pride and ego when it comes to each other, but when it comes to every other race, we forgive every other race and we accept them as if they're our own. But when it comes to each other, we have all this pride. We don't want to work together. We don't want to teach the younger generation. Each one teach one. So now we have all these killings. It isn't like the killings haven't been going on before this, but in particular, this story is interesting because, they put it on the news, and those media outlets, they use it kind of as a tool to invoke fear in other races and to, I guess, demonize melanated brothers and sisters and say, see, look at how they act. They're uncivilized. So we have to take it upon ourselves as the elder statesmen of the community and start teaching these kids. Stop teaching these kids that it's just about having materials. You have to teach them to know who they are. If we don't know who we are, how are we going to teach the next generation who they are? The millennials think their generation is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, rims, cars, clothes, shoes, and women. And the pursuit of getting all that at any means, by any means necessary. So if you got to rob your other brother, or a melanated brother, or melanated sister, or you got to kick in the door and do a home invasion to get it, you'll do it. If you got to prove that your ego is bigger than the next melanated person, you don't mind shooting whoever it is. This has to stop. There has to come a time where we have to make adjustments, and we got to start looking from within and saying, okay, these are our melanated sisters and brothers having these children that are committing these crimes. So we got to look at that. And we got to stop blaming other races for our problems and take pride upon ourselves and know who we are.
Do you think that more high school shootings will occur as the population grows?
Yes. Yes. While they building that illustrious Raider Stadium, you know, on the Strip, you know, that's going to attract more people. And when you're in a metropolis and there's a bunch of people, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be volatile issues and crimes. And crimes comes what? More prisons, more police officers, more rules, more policies. You know, cost and demand goes up. There's too many children in the world. It's already a overcrowded city as it is. Las Vegas isn't really meant to handle 7, 8, 9 million people. Los Angeles, like Los Angeles, it's not meant to handle that. But they're gonna make it handle that because of money. So if all the melanated people at the bottom are killing each other and shooting each other, that means nothing to any other race. Because the first thing they're gonna say is, well, you guys kill each other anyway. That's because of mental retardation. And when I mean mental retardation, I mean mentally we don't know who we are. We know how to eat, we know how to buy clothes and consume and compete with each other and size each other up and down, but we have a hard time sticking together, working with each other, you know, bartering with each other, making sure that we put our race first. So yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of killings. And a lot of those killings will probably be melanated because of the situations that be. Look at the school, Canyon Springs. Now, there's a total difference between Canyon Springs and Bishop Gorman or Finley Prep or Palo Verde High School. You know, there's a total difference in the area. You think that area is an area of significance to the people who make up the laws and the policies? No. They don't care about that. That doesn't mean anything to the people that make the policies and the laws. As long as those shootings and killings are not going on at Bishop Gorman or Faith Lutheran or Finley Prep or Palo Verde High School or, you know, or West Tech, any of those schools that are in the upper echelon areas of Las Vegas, they don't matter. You guys can just keep killing each other. That's how they see it. We gotta love each other first before anybody else is gonna even respect us as a race.